Imagine holding an hourglass where every grain of sand is a glowing star. Each one falls through the narrow neck of the present, tumbling from what was into what is, before vanishing into what has already been. Watch a single drop of water strike a perfectly still lake. The moment of impact sends ripples outward in every direction, and for just a fraction of a second, you witness something that feels absolute, something that feels undeniably real. That moment. That precise, irreducible now. It feels like the only thing that truly exists. The past is a memory, a ghost of sensation stored somewhere behind your eyes. The future is a story not yet written, a landscape with no footprints. And so the mind anchors itself to the present, treating it like solid ground in an otherwise shifting sea. But what if that ground is not as solid as it seems? What if the present moment, the very thing you trust most completely, is itself a kind of architecture, built not from the bricks of physics but from the mortar of perception? The question is not simply philosophical. It reaches into the deepest foundations of how the universe is structured, how time actually behaves when stripped of human experience, and what reality truly looks like when we stop assuming our feelings about it are accurate measurements of it. The journey from the intuitive to the fundamental is one of the most disorienting and beautiful paths a mind can travel. Stand at a busy urban intersection at night and look around. Every person moving through that space carries their own internal sense of now. The taxi driver, the couple arguing on the corner, the child pressing their face against a bakery window. Each one feels the present as immediate, as vivid, as the only moment that is genuinely happening. This intuition has a name in philosophy. It is called presentism, and it holds that only the current moment possesses true existence. The past, under this view, has dissolved into non-being. The future has not yet arrived into being. Only now is real. It is a deeply human way of experiencing the world, and it maps almost perfectly onto how the brain processes time. Neuroscience tells us that the mind does not experience time as a physicist might measure it. Instead, it constructs a sense of the present from a rolling window of sensation, memory, and anticipation, stitching together roughly 2 to 3 seconds of experience into what feels like a single coherent moment. Your brain is not a camera recording reality frame by frame. It is an editor, assembling a narrative from fragments and presenting it to your consciousness as seamless and immediate. Philosophers have described this unfolding through what is called the A series of time. Events begin as distant future possibilities, then draw closer, becoming near future, then arrive into the present, and then recede, becoming recent past, then distant past, then ancient history. Time in this framework is not a static landscape. It is a river, and you are always standing at the same point on the bank while the water rushes past you. But here is where the architecture begins to crack. Because if the present is the only real moment, and if every observer carries their own present with them, then whose present is the real one? And what happens when physics tells us that two observers can disagree, not just philosophically but mathematically and measurably, about which events are happening right now? Picture a massive translucent cube floating in the silence of deep space. Inside it, light bends and refracts through layers of frozen time, and within those layers, you can see the same person at every stage of their life simultaneously. A child running through a garden, an adult standing at a window in the rain, an elder sitting quietly with their hands folded in their lap. They are not memories of each other. They are not projections. They all exist right now, within different slices of the same four-dimensional structure. This is the block universe, and it emerges directly from Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity, published in 1905. Einstein demonstrated mathematically that time is not a separate, universal river flowing at the same rate for everyone. Instead, time is woven together with the 3 dimensions of space into a single fabric called space-time. And within that fabric, past, present, and future do not succeed one another. They coexist. The philosophical position that corresponds to this is called eternalism. Under eternalism, every moment in time holds the same level of reality as every other. The year you were born is just as real as today. The moment of your death, whenever it occurs, already exists within the structure of space-time. Nothing is lost. Nothing is waiting to be created. Everything simply is, arranged across the four-dimensional block like words printed on the pages of a book that has already been written. This is not a metaphor designed to comfort or disturb. It is a logical consequence of the mathematics that describes how the universe actually behaves. When Einstein's equations are taken seriously, the flowing, arrow-like quality of time that we experience every waking moment becomes something that requires explanation, rather than something that explains everything else. Consider two astronauts. One is stationed in a distant star system, far from any massive gravitational body, drifting in the relative quiet of open space. The other is positioned near the event horizon of a black hole, where gravity is so extreme that space-time itself is being stretched and compressed with tremendous force. Above each astronaut, imagine a clock. The one near the black hole ticks slowly, each second arriving like a heavy stone dropped into deep water. The one in open space ticks rapidly, seconds spinning past like pages in a flipped book. They are not experiencing different clocks. They are experiencing different rates of time itself. This is gravitational time dilation, one of the most experimentally verified predictions of Einstein's general theory of relativity. Time does not pass at a universal rate. It passes at a rate determined by how fast you are moving and how deep you are within a gravitational field. The faster you move, the slower time passes for you relative to a stationary observer. The stronger the gravity around you, the slower your clock ticks compared to someone farther from that gravitational source. This means that the concept of a universal now, a single present moment shared by all observers across the universe, is not just philosophically contested, it is physically impossible. Two observers moving at different velocities will disagree about which events are simultaneous. There is no cosmic referee to declare one of them correct. Both are right within their own reference frames, and neither frame is more fundamental than the other. Think of the future as a crossroads, branching and uncertain from the perspective of any single observer moving through time. And think of the past as a locked room, its contents fixed and unchangeable, every detail sealed behind a door that cannot be reopened. But in the block universe, even that locked room is not behind you. It is beside you, occupying a different coordinate in the four-dimensional structure of reality, just as real and present as the moment you are living right now, simply located at different space-time coordinates. Einstein once wrote that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. He wrote those words in a letter of condolence after the death of a close friend, and they carry both scientific precision and profound human tenderness. The illusion he described is not a failure of intelligence. It is a feature of consciousness, a way of navigating a four-dimensional reality, using a three-dimensional experience. The camera pulls back now. From a single human eye, with its iris contracting in the morning light, the frame widens. The face becomes a figure. The figure becomes a city. The city becomes a continent. The continent becomes a planet. Then a solar system. Then a galaxy. Then the vast and silent architecture of the observable universe. And in that final breathtaking view, time is not a river, it is a book. Every page is a moment. Every chapter is an era. The entire volume exists simultaneously, complete and whole, waiting not to be experienced sequentially, but to be understood as a unified structure of extraordinary complexity and beauty. We live on a single page and call it everything. But the book is so much larger than any one page can suggest. Stand at the edge of a calm ocean at dawn. Watch the light arrive across the water in long, slow sheets of gold. The ocean does not rush. It does not mourn the waves that have already broken or anticipate the ones still forming far out at sea. It simply is, in every direction at once, vast and patient and indifferent to the categories of before and after. That is closer to what reality actually looks like from outside the narrow corridor of human perception. The architecture of forever is not built from moments that come and go. It is built from moments that simply are, all of them, always, held together in a structure so vast and so complete that the word now barely scratches its surface.